Arlesha and every day of every year, there are different events that go on, whether they be good, bad, happy, or sad. And on May 30th, 1996, that was good news for my family and my parents, and of course me. That's the day I was born. Usually on my birthday, well, around birthdays, growing up, like, kids at my school, they would get all dressed up and they would wear their tiaras and their sashes and stuff, and they'll walk around school till everybody's their birthday, and their friends would give them balloons and bring them cakes and stuff and sing happy birthday in the cafeteria. But I always wanted that to happen for me, but it never did because my birthday was when school was out. So usually around my birthday, I would like invite friends over. We would go out to eat with my family or something like that. So it's not really big, but it's just something that I did every year. And in the New York Times, I found on May 30th, 1996, it was an article called New York Officer Involved in Racial Beating in Long Island. Inside a bar in New York, there was an officer in there, and there was also like a lot of rowdy people. And the officer actually got into it with a black male, and they were all arguing inside, and then they actually got put out. So when they got outside, they were arguing, there were racial slurs involved, and it actually ended in the officer grabbing a steering wheel lock off of the victim's car, and he actually started beating him with it. And he beat him so bad that he ended up with a brain injury, ending with him, losing vision, so he has permanent vision loss. And the officer, he actually tried to plead not guilty and say that he was trying to save this young white girl because she was with him, and he tried to say that the girl was in danger. But the victim said that the victim didn't really, the witnesses said that the victim didn't really try to fight back or do anything. It was just the officer trying to hit on him. But the officer, he was on $1 million bail and $500 bond. Now, I don't really know what that is, but, I guess that's bad. I don't know. My second article actually came from the New York Times as well. It happened May 30th, 2007. It was called A Mother Hangs Herself and Her 4 Children. The mother was actually depressed, and she was overwhelmed because she was already, she was already on the poorer side, and the father actually left them for another family, so she was depressed, and she ended up hanging herself and her 4 children. The only one that survived was the 8-month-old baby. They were all girls. The other 3 were 2, 3, and 5. They were found by their godmother because usually the mom goes to work at Wendy's and the godmother comes in and she watches the kids. So when she heard that the mother hadn't showed up to work, she went and checked on them and she found them. And the 8-month-old baby now stays with her because that's the closest family that they have. My last article was actually found in the New York Times as well. It was from 2 years later, May 30th. 2009. It was called Obama Gives a Speech on Cyber Attacks. And it was actually about Obama. He was talking about how Bush's way of handling the cyber attacks wasn't really productive, and he tried to find a new way to do it. Bush tried to keep it really private, but Obama tried to include the public in it. I don't really know how effective that is. I feel like the public should know some things, but not everything. But the Pentagon also used his way to create a new cyber command to organize and train digital war. And also a security executive at a cybersecurity executive, he said that Obama's plans were on a different playing field than Russia and China. So the ways that the 2 ways were kind of contradicting, so they're all trying to find out a way for them to actually work together. In conclusion, I chose the first article about the New York beating because the police brutality thing and racial involvement is a big thing right now. I mean, I'm not that interested in it, but it is in the news, so that kind of connects. my second article about the mother hanging herself and her 4 children, I chose that one because it did interest me. Only my favorite show is Law and Order, so I like to, watch it to figure out like why people do the crimes that they do. I'm not so interested in the murder part, but I like the figuring out part. And the last one about Obama, I just chose that one because he was here a few weeks ago, so